And Evangeline Downs held a very unique event yesterday. Bring on the camels and zebras, Acadiana.
Live from Acadiana, your local news leader, this is Passe Partout.
In Evangeline Parish, a suspect who police considered armed and dangerous is in jail after turning himself in yesterday morning. Mamu police say 22-year-old Vendaz Thibodeau is connected to two recent shootings right there in that city. He was wanted for multiple charges, including 2 counts of attempted second-degree murder and 2 counts of possession of a firearm by a convicted felon. Now, authorities tell us Thibodeau and 2 other suspects opened fire on a vehicle, and this was last Saturday. The vehicle was hit several times, though no one in that car was injured, thankfully. Mamu police say Thibodeau also opened fire on another vehicle. 1 day later, Thibodeau is now being held in the Evangeline Parish Jail on a bond of $800,000. Remember, all persons are presumed innocent until proven guilty. Then shocking moments out of Metairie last night for you. A man is dead after he allegedly pointed a gun at deputies with Jefferson Parish Sheriff's Office, causing them to fire back. Here's Brittany Dixon with the latest on this investigation.
Just after midnight Saturday morning, Jefferson Parish deputies showed up at this home on Harvard Avenue looking for a man wanted for questioning in an earlier incident. Investigators say when the man arrived at the house, he got out of the car and pointed a gun at deputies. That's when they say at least one of them fired back. A neighbor tells us he saw the man being taken away in an ambulance. Reports show he died at a hospital. This is the second time this week JPSO deputies have had guns pointed at them. Early Wednesday morning near Lake Avenue and Pine Street, deputies say they were shot at by a group of men seen pulling on door handles. After a quick pursuit, deputies arrested 5 individuals. Investigators say deputies did not return fire that day and no one was injured.
All right, the sheriff's office says they expect to have an update on the investigation sometime for you next week. 1 year after the family of boxer Brandon Broussard received justice for Brandon's murder, they now are forced to relive the events all over again. One of the brothers charged with conspiracy to Broussard's murder could be walking free on this. News 10's Zane Hogue brings us the latest.
Just as the family of Brandon Broussard was able to move on following his death, the Louisiana Court of Appeals says the evidence provided to convict Carlos Toby may not be enough, and he could be walking free as a result. Last year, Chavez and Carlos Toby were convicted of conspiracy to commit second-degree murder. Chavez also received a second-degree murder charge for the death of Brandon Broussard. 1 year later, the Court of Appeals moved to reverse the sentence of Carlos Toby. Since evidence consisted largely of cell phone maps and locations, the Court of Appeals says there is no proof of conspiracy. There was also argument the car located on video surveillance was never positively identified as belonging to Carlos. With insufficient evidence, the Court of Appeals says Toby's conviction is reversed and his sentence is vacated. Lafayette Assistant District Attorney Roya Bustani says her office plans to take this case to the state Supreme Court to make sure Toby remains in prison.
We are absolutely going to be seeking an appeal to the Louisiana Supreme Court. We believe that the Third Circuit's opinion was, erroneous. We are just here to protect the integrity of the original conviction, and as well as represent the state of Louisiana and the victims in this case.
In Lafayette, I'm Zane Hogue for KLFY News 10.
So Louisiana State Representative Vincent Pierre weighs in on the ongoing conversation regarding pedestrian crosswalk safety. He says pedestrian safety is a matter of enforcement. Pierre says it's important for people and drivers to slow down and pay attention, especially at those busy intersections. He says people need to use the crosswalks that are available, and people who are not using them should face fines. In addition, he says legislators are developing laws to ensure the crosswalks are being monitored.
We want folks to cross the roads that they're doing safe times. Of course, you have to look at the lights and when it's your time to cross. And we want to ensure that our law enforcement are enforcing these laws.
So Pierre says if there is a concern in your area, call his office or any of the legislators in the Acadiana region. of course, you can find that information. It's on our website for you, Acadiana. That's KLFY.com. The St. Martin Parish Sheriff's Office and School Board are addressing the community about the recent rise in school threats throughout the parish there. Acadiana has seen 73 school threats this school year alone. St. Martin Parish has had 8 recorded threats since August of last year. St. Martin Parish Superintendent there and the parish sheriff is advising parents to listen to law enforcement when they encounter threatening situations. Their goal is to protect all students in St. Martin Parish.
My advice to the parents is follow the directions given out by law enforcement and school personnel. In the event of an active shooter or another emergency, students will be evacuated to an alternate site, and that's where we ask parents to go to. That site will be announced at the time of the emergency. Please follow those directions so law enforcement and school personnel can do their jobs at the site of the emergency and keep everyone safe.
Look, your kids that you send to school is our kid, and we love our kid. We're going to ensure their safety and their protected, and we're going to practice until we are perfect, because practice makes perfect.
Very true there. So the sheriff and school superintendent say the partnership they have is to ensure an efficient and effective response to whatever scenarios may occur at schools throughout the parish. In St. Landry Parish we go. Evangeline Downs held a very unique event yesterday. News 10's Dawson D'Amico was at the racetrack as both camels and zebras had their own time to shine.
I'm at the back barns of Evangeline Downs, where the stables to my right are usually occupied by horses. But today we see camels and zebras to bring a different look to what racing down in Acadiana is all about. That sounds like a dinosaur.
Right, and so it's been something that's been out that people have asked about, that we've looked at for a number of years, and really it's one of those things that we want to take an opportunity this year to come back and bring the new racing season back in a big way. We're just getting started with the brand new meet, and we want to do it in a big way. So what bigger than having some exotic animals come out and entertain people?
Evangeline Downs Director of Operations Anthony Bro says the event had a huge turnout and was able to support everyone involved.
For us to have this full paddock and apron area before 5 o'clock is huge, right? It's not only huge for Evangeline Downs, it's huge for our food vendors that are here, for the horsemen that are going to run tonight, and it's huge for St. Landry Parish and the city of Opelousas.
For those that are curious like myself, the average top speed of a zebra is believed to be up to 35 to 43 miles per hour. A camel has a top speed of up to 40 miles per hour and can hold a 25 mile per hour pace up to an hour long. After talking with fans who came to see both the zebras and the camels, one thing for sure is that they are excited to see them in person.
My family came out here. We wanted to have fun, wanted to watch the zebras and camels race. Something you don't see every day, zebras and camels racing. Usually it's horses.
I just love the horses personally. You hear me? I come for that, but a lot of people here for the zebras and stuff. I want to see that for my first time.
Hey, zebras or camels?
Zebras.
What makes you more excited for a zebra than a camel?
Because zebras is faster and camels are slower.
Oh yeah? You think a camel's going to be kind of clumsy when it runs? One question I had to ask was, are zebras black with white stripes or white with black stripes?
White with black stripes.
White with black stripes.
Okay.
Black with white stripes, that's the same.
Is it the same?
Mm-hmm.
All right, well then let's go with that. In Opelousas, Dawson D'Amico, KLFY, News 10.
All right, had to let him do his thing. Anthony Bro tells News 10 they plan to put on similar events in the future. Trevor Saunier over in the Weather Center. We're going to take a look at the weather forecast, and it's pretty nice for us in the week ahead. A little rain, not that I'm doing your job, but...
Well, you just got interrupted by a camel, so...
I know, what a morning. It's yours.
Okay, well, let's go into the weather then. Well, we'll have a mix of clouds and sun for today with a few isolated showers. 58 in Lafayette, 60 degrees in New Iberia, 57 in Opelousas. So it's cool out there for sure. Satellite radar shows some clouds swinging into our area. Notice those rain and storms across Texas. This has been persistent in this area. Even some severe thunderstorms down to the south across across the Texas Hill Country. But for us, some of this will come in later on today, mainly of the light variety. I'll put storm chances at about 20, possibly 30% later on this afternoon, but do expect some showers across the area as this front moves in later on today. So temperatures rising through the 60s and 70s. We get into the low to mid 70s later on this afternoon. Future track shows these clouds increasing through the day, and notice these isolated showers moving through in the afternoon and for this evening. Now for tomorrow, a mix of clouds and sun, and temperatures once again on the cool side in the low to mid 70s. We're in the 50s this morning. Now we rise into the mid 70s for this afternoon, so still pretty cool by April standards. Mid 50s for tonight, and in the lower 70s for tomorrow. So some beautiful weather in the forecast here through tomorrow. But by Tuesday and Wednesday, storm chances will be coming back into the forecast. Northeasterly winds at about 10 to 20 miles per hour for this afternoon, and we'll keep the northeasterly breeze in the forecast at a pretty good clip at about 8 to 16 miles per hour tomorrow. So here's the upper level situation. We have drier air coming in from the north, plunging into the area, so that's why we're seeing a continuation of cooler temperatures. But notice the green returns here by Wednesday and Thursday, so that's when rain chances will be the highest for Wednesday and Thursday, and then the drier air punches back in for Friday, and the moisture returns again on Saturday. So a very progressive pattern looks to continue. We have troughing across the central portions of the country and multiple disturbances embedded within that trough. First one comes in on Tuesday, and then multiple rounds for Wednesday and Thursday. And then here's our weekend weather maker. Looks like it could drive in here, maybe bring a front through here by Saturday. So 76 your high today, partly cloudy, isolated showers, north winds at about 10 to 20 miles per hour, and a rain chance of about 20, maybe 30%. 7-day forecast shows mid 70s for tomorrow. Some nice weather tomorrow, but rain chances increasing for Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. And that's how it's been lately. I feel like every couple of days we get rainfall. 79 Friday, and then we could see yet another system by Saturday. So around and around we go.
Round and around we go. I like that. Yeah. All right. We thank you, of course, for watching Trevor's weather forecast. And if you want to see more of it, we'll have it for you throughout the show. And then we have it on our website, klfy.com, along with the stories that you see this morning.